So we're here at the Learn to RV podcast, and we just discovered that our guys got online tonight and recorded a pretty interesting episode. But that means we need to give you some kind of disclaimer.
Send your kids somewhere.
Yes.
Send them to
We're
do
pushing
something
something.
outside.
Send them away. Yes. Definitely. This is an adult podcast. You will want to listen to this without your children nearby, as we or our husbands actually dove into some pretty deep topics about living in an RV with their spouses. So
Yes.
it should be good. And I think you guys will enjoy it.
But just know that you probably should have your headphones in to listen to this one.
Enjoy.
Welcome to the Learn to RV podcast, where we support, inspire, and empower you 1 mile at a time.
Okay, are you guys ready?
Ready. Yeah.
Okay. Hey, everyone. Welcome back to the Learn to RV podcast. This is another attempt at the guys takeover. So some of the things we're going to talk about today are important and near to dear to us as we RV. We're going to talk about something that's, the pachyderm in the room per se. Not a lot of people like to talk about it. That's dealing with the perimenopause and marriage. I like to say it that way, as far as like the elephant in the room. It's, in case anybody's not aware, because I wasn't really sure what this was before, it's the precursor to crazy before the crazy. But we're all crazy already, so we're just here for the ride and to support our wives through this whole crazy ordeal. So in one step, we're crazy because we're trying to live in small super quarters. And then the other one, trying to be minimalist at the same time of stepping outside the box and living in different environments throughout our travels. What are some of the crazy things that you have come across, Phil?
Well, the craziest is probably, when she tells you for this next week or so, let's make sure we have full hookups, because she doesn't want to be trying dry camping because it's, that time of the month. And she wants her restroom and the comforts of home.
It's very important. It is. Yes. It's always getting ready for those challenges of making sure full hookups, making sure you have the right amount of power to make sure you can run all your air conditioners, because let me tell you, in 1 second, you could see snow falling in my RV, and the next second, Jennifer walks through the room, and you'd think it was the Serengeti, and everything just dries up and it's hot.
Yeah, correct. Well, and then you got to deal with that big swing of temperature that they're going through. I mean, I like it cold, but then dealing it with kids, with us, it's adult children. And so if she needs to get down to less than what she usually wears, making sure they can't get into our room accidentally, or the door doesn't accidentally open up, where she can cool herself down in the safety of our room. So that's interesting.
And totally understand
that is
that
a challenge.
So what I can
Fortunately,
say
we've got
is
all girls, so
that
one's
does
not
make
an
it
issue.
easy for them, not necessarily for you, though.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
One of the things I can say from different areas and environments that as we traveled across the country, even as for myself and my experiences of traveling across the world, trying to understand from growing up in the Northeast with humidity and how it controls the temperature, to going out into the desert where you're dealing with triple digits and you don't have air conditioning per se, and now they have like things like swamp coolers, and you're like, wait, what?
Yeah.
How do we keep cool? So I mean, things like that are very important, especially in traveling, understanding how evaporative cooling works. It's always a nice trick to have that, damp washcloth nearby to help cool us off. Keep everybody from going crazy, so it doesn't necessarily go off into temper tantrum range and things of that nature. What are some of the other things you guys have done to help along with your wives in this travels?
I think for us, it's just really just not having her do a lot of the like chores, cooking, cleaning, stuff like that when that time happens, to kind of alleviate a lot of stress, because they're already stressed out because of the perimenopause. And so trying to make it easy for them living, having the kids help
course.
us cook, or I'm doing the cooking and having the kids doing dishes or cleaning the bathroom or whatever it is. And so we're taking care of the pets. So, during that time we try to alleviate or really just completely don't make Tasha do anything. Not that I make her do anything, but you know what I'm saying. But so try to minimize what she does so she can kind of relax and be stress free.
Absolutely. What are some of your tricks that you do, Phil?
Well, I do a lot of the stuff around the house to begin with anyway, so that's taken care of. The other thing is I've given my wife full control over the thermostats. I don't set the temperature. She sets them, and they're whatever she wants them at. And if I'm too cold, I go layer up. I'll throw on the hoodie or whatever, and that just helps alleviate that, because that's usually where we have the biggest difference. She'll be running, hot and want him colder, and I'm running cold and want him warmer, so I just let her have the thermostats, and she sets them where she wants them.
It's always good. Absolutely. One of the things that we try to do is, let's see if I can word this correctly. We've come across a lot of different travelers who break down their chores by pink and blue per se. I don't necessarily like those rules or like those comments. I'm more of a equal opportunity. If you know the knowledge on how to do something, by all means, you should do it. If you have apprehension, then, either let someone else who has experience doing it attempt it, or learn how to do it, or just don't do it at all. So there's a lot of different chores when it comes to like travel days, moving days, where as a family we're like, hey, this is a moving day, and it's already crazy. Mom's gonna watch the dogs, and they're like, what? That's the code word. Leave mom alone.
Yeah.
Let her go walk the dogs. And then everybody else is like, but why do we have to do everything? I'm like, or you can let her come back here and you're going to wish that she was walking the dogs. So I let Jennifer walk the dogs as much as possible. In situations like that, or if, anybody who's traveled with me or knows me, and I would say this is my weakness, and Jennifer's in my relationship. There are certain things that I have to have a specific way because I'm not OCD, I'm CDO. So I have to, if I don't do my checklist correctly, I'm going to miss something. And that's when bad stuff can happen. So she tends to go, I'll let you go do what you're going to do. If I can help, please show me, or I'll go walk the dogs. So going through, the perimenopause situation in traveling, and it's not just for RVers, whether you're part-time, full-time, anytime, going from small living spaces and trying to maneuver around, especially if anybody's been in an RV, to where yes, their slides come out, the beds give you more space to walk around, but it's not a hallway. It's a
Nope.
pass by where like you're gonna bump in the night. And situations like that is you got to try and make the best of it, try and make everybody smile, at the same time be kooky, and always be on the lookout and paying attention to our spouse's needs in those situations. And it's about appropriate communications, because communications isn't always about what we say. It's about our actions and trying to make sure that we understand what's going on. And I don't know if you guys are, but I can tell you that I'm not psychic. I'm not, I like to tell people I'm telepathic. So I have no telepathy. I'm not a mind reader. So Jennifer and I will sometimes get into discussions or arguments when it comes, hey, can you go do this? I'm like, you got to explain it better than that. I don't understand what you're asking me to do. It's kind of like hey, where do you want to go for dinner? I don't know. Where do you want to go? One of those situations where that happens a lot in our household. So I've already come up with a plan. If I've asked you where would you like to go, she comes back with I don't know, where do you want to go? I've always had the same answer now. It's sushi, because Jennifer doesn't eat sushi. So it kind of forces the play at hand that she's got to pick something, or we let the kids pick, because truthfully, I'll eat anything, literally. So, but I'd rather not eat an indecisive sandwich because those are not fun.
Yeah.
What do you guys do to try and combat something like that?
Well, it's a difficult question because usually, if I'm told to make a decision or ask for input, it's understood she wants me to make a decision. I'm also supposed to understand her and know her well enough to make the right decision. So, I do try to leave a little bit of,
Absolutely.
getting the input, so I know what she's in the mood for or wanting, but it usually doesn't work out as smoothly as I hoped.
That makes a lot of sense. What do you think, Matt?
I mean, especially for food, we're lucky to have kids that like to choose as well. So then it's them to blame if they choose something that she doesn't like. But we've trained them well enough to enjoy certain foods and stay away from other ones. Um, and then David, on top of his restrictions, anyways, we always try to go with what he can do and what he can't do to make sure that so there's always like a community of understanding with what everyone likes and all that. And so when that moment does arise where no one wants to make a decision, then at least we're not going to some fried food something or other, because we know most of us don't like fried food. So uh but I
Yeah,
think also
absolutely.
that is also just having a sense of humor. I think going back to like the small space, we're not necessarily passing each other. We're bumping each other in the hallway, or even just in the living room, just to get from one place to another. And if you don't have a sense of humor and just interacting with each other in this small area, then you're going to hate it really bad. And you'll get on each other's nerves really fast. And that was, I think it was really good for us that each of us laugh about little things that happen, and little mistakes that we do, or things that break on the RV or whatever. If you don't have a sense of humor, it's going to be a long run. And so that's helped out a lot.
Absolutely. So, Phil, how do you guys handle small spaces?
That's a challenge, especially with six of us. And things just get sprawled out and messy. And a lot of times it's just letting it be and ignoring it. It's like, it is what it is. Um, we try different approaches and methods to try to get better organization, switch things around. But we've yet to find the ideal, optimal solution to that. And it's a work in progress. A lot of anticipation of, if you're passing somebody in that hallway, you try to figure out where you need to be in order to not be in their way, but that doesn't always work.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So, do you find it easier that you're in a fifth wheel than when you were in a Class A?
Absolutely. There's a lot more space. The Class A just was really non-functional. From even the main thing, that the main bathroom was through our bedroom. So that made things, like a Grand Central Station there.
Yeah.
But also just the living area was also partially the kids' bedrooms. So they didn't have their space. And with the fifth wheel, everybody's got their room and their places they can go to. So it gives some options that weren't there with the Class A, but it's worlds better.
Absolutely. I remember when we first hit the road, we had a 29-foot, now that's bumper to hitch, Weekend Warrior toy hauler. It was, so it was bumper pull. The actual RV box size was 27 feet. And about the first 4 feet was basically the bed. And then we converted the whole back of which was an open air kitchen area. We kind of, as I call them, we basically built Navy racks for all the kids. And we, at one point, had all 7 kids in the RV with us at one time. So there was 9 of us in there. And then we had like 3 dogs, 2 cats. And then basically we were a traveling zoo. We were like, if we're the Ringling Brothers, we're modern day, that was us. We had the clowns and everything going on. And people always would ask us, how do you guys handle it? And I'm like, the beds are for sleeping in. That's their personal space. So they do have some space there, but 99% of the time we're outside doing something. Like, what do you do when it's raining? We get wet because we're outside doing something. So, I mean, that worked while all the kids were little and younger. Because if anybody knows about us, I mean, when we first started traveling, our youngest was 1.5 years. And then, when our first transition to our first fifth wheel, we had to move up to a fifth wheel because the boys were just too tall for their beds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it just kind of continues to morph in that event, still understanding small spaces. And the biggest challenge I can see that most people don't understand is when something comes in, something has to go out, especially when it comes to storing hobbies, toys, clothes, things of that nature.
Yes.
Do you guys have? Now, I wouldn't say the only place I can tell you that in my household that anybody has any defined that's their area, don't touch it. Um, we really don't have anything like that in our house. So if someone wants to be left alone, they just go to their bed. So I don't consider the bed like anything other than their own sanctuary, but not an extra safe space for like a desk or a chair. Lazy boy, like when I was growing up, my dad had his lazy boy. You don't touch it. I mean, do you guys have anything like that in your RVs?
We don't. I mean, they have their beds, and that is their space. Try to respect it, but if I have to go in there to fix something, I go in there to fix it, and it is what it is. Outside of that, there really isn't. Everything else is shared space because you have to share it all.
Well, it does. It makes for sometimes closer knit families. You can, as I have such a wide range of ages in my children, I could tell you that this past summer when my older boys that were still traveling with me were preparing to move out, when they finally did that step, there was a breath of fresh air for them going, oh my gosh, I'm not going to have anybody in my space anymore. And they're going to go from having like their own space of a bed to a 20 by 10 bedroom that's theirs for themselves, or they have their own walk-in closet. I was like, this is bigger than our house. You're not going to know what to do. You could run across that room.
Yeah.
And it's been a blessing to see as the three youngers are now able to kind of stretch their wings a little bit more now that we have more space, how they're reacting to it, and they're stepping up and taking on the chores and things like that of that nature, and shared responsibilities. It's been amazing.
I know that we've been doing this less than you all have, but I can't imagine like getting out of this. And we've just been so used to the small space that it still boggles my mind that I tow our small space everywhere that we live in. And it kind of freaks me out. And then I get anxiety and then I got to calm myself down. But, the kids have their space. I wish they had separate rooms. That was our ultimate goal, but it never came to fruition. But we got on the road. And so we don't really go into their space, maybe just to direct them how to organize it better, every 3 to 6 months. And then, we've got our storage space in our own room, and then we've got, our communal space, but, we don't really, we let them have their room. We don't really pop our heads in unless we need something or whatever, but that's kind of their own space. We did have like curtains and things for them to use, but then those fell down through traveling. But they've managed, and then, I don't know, nothing's really sacred anymore. So, we're all pretty comfortable, at least in my mind, with each other around. So,
That's awesome.
I don't know what to go with that, but we're comfortable with where we're at and how small we are, and we just do it every day. So
That's all that's important. It really counts.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. What I can say is with the limited amount of space and storage capabilities as far as cargo space goes, it really does limit you to as far as how many extra jackets, scarves, and gloves and mittens you can have. So you try and stay in that pristine 70 degrees so you don't have to have all those extra layers. But once in a while, it's fun to go into those areas too. And then, so not only are we dealing with small spaces, but I mean, there's always those things that make the RV lifestyle a little bit better. Like one of my favorite appliances that we now have since we moved into a fifth wheel. So this is our second fifth wheel. So we've had a washing machine, and I think that every RV should have one.
Oh yes.
And
Yeah, I don't have
it's just
one.
a huge game changer.
I'm sure
You
it
don't have
is.
one yet, do you, Matt?
It's all rumors to me. I don't believe you until I get one. So right now I've got to pay to use laundry. Our hope is to like get into a fifth wheel soon that has the hookups and then eventually get there. And so our travel trailer, there's no place to even put one if you wanted to. Maybe the shower, but it has to be small. But then you got to dry it still.
Yeah, the small one with the spin dryer and the little thing that'll do like 3 things of clothes and then hang them outside to dry.
Yes.
I mean,
Yeah,
it's
my
better than
dad was
nothing,
just
but it is.
visiting, and he was commenting about how long it takes for our washing machine to do a load of laundry. And he was like, it takes like 4 hours. I was like, yeah. And he's like, that takes forever. I'm like, yeah, but you don't have to leave to go do laundry.
Yeah.
So just start it and leave it alone. You don't have to sit there and watch it. It's called multitasking.
Most of that time is the dry cycle.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
But yeah, they're great. Wouldn't be without one.
Well, we were talking about laundry and how to handle it. Unfortunately, Matt doesn't know what it's like to have a washing machine on his RV. So what are some of the features that you have on your washing machine that makes it very spectacular, Phil?
Well, we do have a vented combo, which means it's got the vent to the outside and it's drier as a normal dryer with heat, not trying to extract the moisture. We only use the quick wash cycle. It's 25 minutes and then throw it on for like 2 hours and 5 minutes to dry. I haven't really explored it, but it's just good to have there because it saves us running from the laundromats, and I hate laundromats.
I hear you. So we have the washing machine we actually bought it from a friend of ours. They ordered it through the online delivery system. I'm not going to drop names, but anyways, they got it to them, and then they were measuring it, and it didn't match the measurements that were listed online, and it was a quarter of an inch off, and that quarter of an inch in an RV is huge. So he's like, they wouldn't take it back, and he's like, what am I supposed to do with it? I was like, it'll fit in my RV. I'll buy it from you. So I bought it, and unfortunately, it wasn't a vented because I wanted a vented, but I was helping a friend out. So, but as you were saying, you use the quick wash. I normally don't do anything but the super long washes. So my RV is literally an earthquake for hours on end. So as it goes through multiple spin cycles and rinse cycles, and now I've got a triple axle and I've got, stabilizers and everything else, but you can probably tell from a quarter mile away that my washing machine is going into a spin cycle. As people who travel in the world of RVing and things of that nature, everybody goes, oh, if the RV's rocking, don't go knocking. And we're just doing laundry, people. So don't read into
doing
it.
laundry.
It's just laundry. So there is that. So Matt, you got to get a washing machine. I'm just saying.
Yep.
But some of the things with washing machines too is making sure you're checking your filters and things of that nature, because if you ever had a backup or where your pump doesn't want to work, it definitely can cause a lot of havoc. And making sure you understand how to pull it out, the washing machine that is, and clean up all your spills and make sure the filters and traps are cleaned so that the pump works properly. And the other thing is make sure that your drains are open if you're doing laundry. At least on the non-vented, I probably will go through 20 or 30 gallons of water in one wash cycle. So
that's a lot.
So, and they're like, hey, this is eco-friendly. Sure. Okay. I'm not seeing it, but all right. At the same time, I'm like, we're still trying to calculate how many loads we can do if we're in a non-full hookup site like we are this week. I've already had to dump a couple times. So I'm like, okay, I've got to calculate. We're still too afraid to run the washing machine to measure everything out because it could be a catastrophe by, if it overflows and we have to drain it and we're not ready. So I should probably do that when I'm at full hookups just to measure it.
What?
I'm glad I'm hearing these stories now.
Oh, we're here for you, Matt. Just like,
We're
breaks
showing
and
you how
everything
not
else.
to do it.
That's right.
Absolutely. So kind of going over some of the things that we talked about today, some anecdotes about, how to be partners with our wives through the perimenopause, how to be a support in those challenges, and how to communicate with not just our spouse but with the children to keep everybody safe, and moving forward from and I say safe as in tempers flaring, things of that nature, but safe from if you ever have a mind like mine where I walk through a doorway and I forget something because I got distracted, and then I'm like, oh, that's an important step. So following those checklists on travel days,
Yep.
to sharing in the chores of setup, tear downs, cooking, trying to make sure things are good, living in small spaces, how to better store, how to really live that minimalistic life, not necessarily with the number of belongings, but minimalistic as in square footage and what we own. I could say that I have a pretty small house, but my backyard is enormous. So, and it constantly changes, which is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
That's the real trade-off.
Yes. And then, that's it. What do you guys think? What are some of the takeaways that you want to guys would share?
Well, I would say you definitely have to have a lot of patience. You've got to also know when it's time to suggest a night out, change of scenery, try to get them to relax. That doesn't always work. Never say the word relax, never say calm, chill, or anything related to that. Take care of the kids, so they don't have to worry about that. And just a lot of patience and grace.
Absolutely. What do you think, Matt?
I think you guys hit the nail on the head. I think like what you did in your early days, Frank, just gets out of that tight space of the RV, just go do stuff. And sometimes me and Tasha just have some time on our own. We'll go out for a coffee in the morning or go out on a lunch date or something like that. And then the kids can have the space for a little while. And so just communicating with each other and being gracious and merciful. And, that just helps out a lot. So that's all I have.
And don't use the words like you're just overreacting. Just relax.
Yeah.
It's not that big a deal.
No. High maintenance. That's a bad phrase.
Yeah. Don't say that.
But don't say that even if you're not living in an RV. So
right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So there you have it, guys. A little bit of humor, some personal zones, how to survive marriage on the road through perimenopausal in tight spaces, and the importance of having that handy dandy washing machine or other appliances. Matt, I'll be praying for you to get one soon.
I appreciate your prayers.
So with all the great information that we shared today, I just want to say, I can't believe we were able to do this unsupervised completely.
Hey, Jenny, Freddie.
Hey, Nettie, stay out. Stay out. We're busted.
No,
We're busted.
No, don't come in here. I'm busy.
Are you recording?
What in
Does
the
Jennifer
world?
know you're up there?
This is not.
How did you guys
podcast.
figure out how to do this?
Frank told me to do this.
What are you talking about?
Frankfurter.
I'm saying nothing.
What are you guys talking about?
It's my fault. I told everybody to do this.
What are we doing?
Is this the
Is
script?
it at least a good
Did you write a
topic?
script?
Laundry.
We talked about laundry and earthquakes.
Navigating perimenopause, small spaces,
Laundry.
and spin
Yes,
cycle
laundromats.
secrets. This is their topic. I
What?
have the papers right here.
What? What did you say?
Well, we're talking about Al
Whatever Frank
Jefe,
told me
the
to say.
wash machine that's so big
No,
you
you
can do
did
all your
not.
laundry in one shot.
Did you guys do a disclaimer?
I hope they
Make
did a
it friendly
disclaimer.
episode.
No disclaimers.
Oh no, we did not.
There's no disclaimers? So people just
No
like
disclaimers.
listen to all that with their kids?
We didn't talk about
Absolutely.
anything that was.
And
No
you took
comment.
on
seemed like-
I
perimenopause
plead the
on
fifth.
your own. I cannot believe this.
Matt was with me. We were holding hands.
Do you know what the
Hey,
difference
hold hands,
between
Matt.
perimenopause, menopause, and postmenopause is? Are you qualified to talk about that?
No.
No?
We don't really want to hear
Why
it.
don't
No.
you ask me
I
first?
told
so I
everybody
could've
I didn't know what it was. It's just stages of crazy.
All right.
I did not say that.
Did
I
you
feel
call
like
us
we should
crazy?
finish things up.
Just did.
Frank.
I think Frank said high
did
maintenance
not.
as well.
Frankfurter? Oh, I'm glad I'm not in your camper
You
tonight.
know where you're going to be in a couple of days.
We actually have a rule
Doghouse?
that even when we're mad at each other, we don't sleep in a different spot. So we will still sleep in the same bed tonight because it's been.
There might be 45 pillows between us, but we're still on the same bed.
Yeah. You just have dogs between you.
Jennifer, when you go to sleep, when I go to sleep, I'm like freezing. I'm like, my body temperature is negative 42. My feet are like 2 blocks of ice. Are you cold when you go to sleep? Because sometimes that's a really good way to punish someone in your bed for being ornery during the day, is to use their body heat to warm your very cold feet.
Without warning.
Oh,
Without
I love
warning.
that.
He does that all the time.
I like to crank the air down.
2 dogs that double as baked potatoes. So my bed is never cold. And they sneak in every time they can. So
That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I mean, I
But
guess
you
the
guys-
real question, do we let Frank go eat and we take over for just a few minutes? And I don't even know what they said, but we should probably look
Yeah.
over the script and make sure,
You
they told everybody what
Good
we
luck with
would have
that.
told them. Because,
Right?
we won't want them to steer anybody in
That's
the wrong
probably
direction.
a good idea.
That's fair.
Behaving and doing what our
Okay.
wives tell us.
Yeah.
That's what we're supposed to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah. Phil's gone. I got rid of him. Come on, ladies.
Phil was out fast. He was like, I got permission, I gone.
I heard the
He's
word
like-
from here.
Matt and I gotta
He's
give
like,
the
don't tell
window."
me twice.
You might want to make sure
Matt,
that the cauliflower is completely done. I was going to check it. I was coming to tell you the chicken was done. And then, you're going to get both of my pairs of glasses right now. Hello. All right. So let's look and see what these talk
Well, that's
about.
what happens when we're not ready.
Oh, boy.
Yeah,
No,
what did they
that's
talk
okay.
about? Tell us what's in this script, Jennifer.
Yeah. So Frank was supposed to
I'm wearing a
start
Christmas
with,
hoodie.
we should have started with a Christmas hoodie. Do you have a Christmas hoodie on?
I got my Christmas hoodie on
Or
because it's December.
this is actually a pretty good script. I got to give him some credit. So, he starts out by talking about the fact that perimenopause isn't usually discussed online. And I think that that's probably true. He had to deal. So
Yeah.
I am older than both of you. And he had to
Mhm.
deal with me going through
No.
menopause. Yeah. I'm not old enough to be your mom. Somebody asked me that one day. But yeah, I mean, like, I think that's a hard topic. So just the fact that the guys took it on, I think that's pretty impressive.
real.
I mean, what are
I
some
didn't
things
even
that
know that perimenopause existed until about a year ago. That was the
Really?
first I had ever heard the term, was about a year ago.
Okay, so I'm going to be real honest with you. This is how I knew that I was there. My ear itched like like enter explicative word here. Like the inside of my ears were itching so bad, and I thought there
Yes.
is no way that I have like nonstop ear infections. What is going on? And I just started Googling, and then it was like, oh, and by the way, do you have this symptom? Is this happening? Did you know that these are signs of perimenopause? And I was like,
But here's the thing, like, I mean, okay, so I'm in my 50s, and I think that the thing is, like, my mom didn't talk about it. My grandma didn't talk about it. I think that's something that, is a today conversation that maybe wasn't around even 10 years
Right.
ago, when I first started
Right.
going through it. So I think the fact that the doors are open and that we are having conversations is a huge step in the right direction.
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
But it affects a lot of people.
Well, and
So, I mean, tight quarters, living spaces. Let's see what else he's got here.
Well, and I think
they do talk about tight living spaces.
that was
We're
What
not
about
living
tight
in
living
tight spaces.
spaces?
What is he talking about?
what else is
They
there?
talked about
What's
washing,
your
All I gotta
face?
say is they better say good things about us.
right? But they
But
talked about washing machines.
what about washing machines?
that you don't have one?
washing machines?
What do you, Tasha? You don't know about washing machines? You don't know the secret?
Can you tell me the secret? I mean, I know a secret about washing machines,
I mean, they clean your
like
clothes.
the quote unquote secret about washing machines. We're gonna go there. I hope that my Aunt
Yep.
Sandra is putting her fingers in her ears right now, because this is a weird conversation with my aunt to have right now. But since she and my Uncle Mike, oh, I might be more uncomfortable with my Uncle Mike listening to this than my Aunt Sandra. But I know the washing machine secret
I mean,
in general, but in an RV,
come on, Tasha. We all have kids.
like the don't come a knocking if the
If
RV's
the
rocking.
RV
Yeah, we don't have that magic tool. So yeah, that's
So what
not
excuses do you guys, put out there if you don't have the washing machine
He
excuse?
has
listen.
older
Our
teens. I
kids
feel
stay
like he
up
makes them
until
go take
like
Stella for a
3
walk.
or 4 in the morning. Yeah, there's a lot of walking the dogs. Also, they stay up until like 3 or 4 in the morning, so they are late sleepers. So, which means they also sleep through a lot of things early in the morning. And my 18-year-old
works.
son is on the other side of the kitchen counter right now, waving like crazy, like, "Thanks, Mom."
If only we had a takeaway of him right now.
Right?
So I was worried about Uncle Mike, but maybe I should have been worried about David.
Well, and it looks like they even talked about dealing with tension in the RV.
Oh,
So
What
look at
tension? Do you guys
them.
have
I'm
tension?
really impressed. So and he's got on here, step outside, go for a walk. I'm not sure he does that, but it's nice that he thought about it.
He goes
Now,
for
wait a
walks.
second.
He's walking
Does he
on
go for
roofs
walks?
all the time.
Or do you go for a walk? Which one is it?
He probably goes and walks the dog.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
interesting.
I do have to say my go-to for a really long time was take the car for a drive when I would get stressed out about things. There's not a whole lot of doing that anymore, because like you take the car for a drive, everybody's going for a ride. You know what I mean? Like, but I don't know.
Well, I mean, some of
What
the
do
things
you
that
guys do to like when you're stressed out or you need a minute?
Well, I think
Most of the
you'd have
time,
to
I
be-
send my husband for a walk, especially if
interesting.
he's the one who's getting amped up. I'm like, you need to go for a walk. And I don't always say it that nicely, but but the kids,
Yeah.
the girls have even learned. They're like, Daddy, you need to go for a walk. Come on, go, Daddy. But for me, yeah, just leave me alone. Just give me my space. Let me chill out, cool off, but don't tell me to chill out. Don't tell me to cool off. Just give me my space and time.
Yeah.
Well, and I
I've
mean, he's got on here
I
respecting routines and quirks. And so I think that's a big part of it is, learning how to manage and deal with that. I think that, I mean, I've been married a long time. And so, over 30 years. And it's one of those things that, um, you know when he needs a moment. And so I
Mhm.
think that the same is sometimes true for us with the guys. And if it's not,
Yeah.
like he'll take the kids to go do something or whatever, he knows that it's better to let me go, like to the store or something, if I need that time away,
Yeah.
rather than sit here, um, because it'll just fester and anything
Yep.
festering. I mean, I jokingly said we've never slept in different beds or on couches, but it is the truth. We don't let that lie down on your anger type thing. We just don't let that happen
Mhm.
between us. And I think that that's critical
Yeah.
in any marriage, especially in 380 square feet or 300. I don't even know how much I am.
Right.
So,
Matt, I think, is really good about knowing when I need to go somewhere alone. So if I am getting ready to go run errands or I'm going to the grocery store or whatever, he'll like a lot of times he'll just come with me to help, but he he can look at me. I mean, it's been what year is it? So it's been 22 years? Yeah, 22 years. And so he can look at me and go, "You want to go by yourself?" Like he knows when I'm just like I'm at the end. I'm I'm at the end of I'm around people. And then I take my headphones and I put my headphones on because I don't even want people in the store talking to me. Like I just need music in my ears or a podcast or an audiobook or something. I need to just close down everything and just focus on a task and get some things done. And like getting things done and being able to mark things off of a list helps me a lot to get through whatever that is. Um, I think the thing that's been really interesting for us though is that or maybe where I've seen the the most tension is that I tend to be, and Jennifer, I think you've seen this firsthand. I tend to be more of like a daredevil when it comes to things, and Matt is more of a play it safe kind of guy. So when we're like out near some boulders or at a waterfall or I'm like crawling up on things where no sane person should be to get the picture that no sane person should be taking. And that stresses him out a lot. And my brain is just like, but that's where the good stuff is. And those, what's funny is that I think we have more stressful moments over those types of events than we do inside the camper. And it might be because he knows I'm safe inside the camper. But as soon as we step out into the wilderness, he's like, oh crap, what's she going to do now?
well, and I think, we're in holiday season. And so I think that that plays a factor too. Do you think that for you guys,
Yeah.
like knowing how to diffuse that before it blows up is how have you guys managed that, Jen? Do you have any ways that you like, I don't know, just mitigate the
Diffuse an
situation before it gets
argument.
worse? Yeah.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I don't know if my husband would agree or not. He might agree, but it mostly falls on my shoulders, and I'm usually the one, like, what I'll do when I realize, because I hate it when there's yelling in our house because I know the neighbors can hear. We live in thin walls and close to our neighbors. And it stresses me out. Like, it just stresses me out, people stomping across the RV. Like,
Jump, jump, jump,
those are
jump.
huge
Jump,
stress.
jump, jump, jump.
Yes. And so I am like big on exactly. I can't handle it. I am very big on privacy, and like if you want to disagree with me, like disagree in private, not public too. And so like when we have disagreements in public, I'm always like, we'll discuss it later. Like just stop, end here now, which doesn't always work for my husband, unfortunately, but it works for me. And then when we're fighting, say at home or in the car or whatever, most of the time I just get really quiet and then I start talking really quiet because the only way he can hear me is if he quiets down. And, and I'll just be like, all right, we're going to come back to this later. And we just need to I need my time. And if he can go take a walk, I send him off on a walk. And then, we come back and, can either finish discussing it or he apologizes. I'm not so good at apologizing, I'll be honest, but, we just work through it and, things like that. I'm always the
But
one
I
that
think
tries to stop
knowing
it though,
that
because I can't handle.
I think knowing that is half the battle, right? And Matt has to watch us back
Yeah.
because Tasha listens to every true crime podcast out there. And so,
I know where and how to hide the bodies successfully.
but she would never do
Oh,
that in
boy.
real life, but she knows how. And so, there's
Never.
always that
No, she
looming
would
thought
never.
process. So
he's worried that this is an encouragement. He's come back to say, stop reminding her.
But I think that knowing that about ourselves and just kind of taking that all in, and I think that each one of us that lives in a small space with our spouse, and we add kids to the mix, and I don't know if they talked about that at all, because I don't see that in his notes, but when you add kids to that mix, it's a whole nother level, because then you have a grumpy teenager, you have 4 girls, so you have more stuff going on.
Hormones galore.
Yeah, my boys have hormones, but I don't know. It gets
Not the
gnarly
same.
sometimes. So, but it's one of those things that
They
when
want a
you add
rough house, I hear.
yeah, but when you add
The
those
boys
kids
are
to the
all about
mix,
rough housing, I hear, which would
yeah,
drive me nuts with all the,
no, Judah was the jump, 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 jump from outside when they was little. But as they've gotten older, I would say they've gotten quieter. They stay to their end of the camper more frequently when they're not wanting to engage, and they can do that. But when we're out and about and things go south, that's just as tough a situation sometimes. So diffusing all of that before it gets out of control, making a wrong turn in a city, trying to find parking as you're driving through Savannah, and finding a parking lot that seems like it's going to be the
Oh my
perfect
God.
spot, but it's maybe not, because getting out is a little harder because you're in this tiny parking spot. And so, I heard about that for a few minutes on the way out, but I just kind of shrug, and Tasha knows because she was there.
Parking is a meltdown moment in our household when it is in the city. And it is a, let's just take a breath. Let's just all breathe in. Let's just
Well, to be fair, when we
all
got there,
breathe
when we got there
together.
initially, there was no one else in the parking lot. So
You
that
know,
was
you're like,
helpful.
right? Oh, man, I love driving a dually in big cities with my family.
Well, and I don't know about you guys, but my husband shares my chores on a regular basis. So I can't complain there. I've been very fortunate. My first year married to him, I had to wash his camis, and I only did it once because I ironed them wrong. And so he fired me very quickly. And so I was okay with being fired because I didn't want to do them wrong again after that. But he's not afraid to step in and do laundry or make dinner or take the kids
Yeah.
to the pool or whatever. And I know your
Yeah.
guys have, very similar work ethics in terms of it. It's
Yeah.
not like, pink jobs, blue jobs.
No, not at all here.
Matt's the same way. Tonight he's making dinner.
Yeah. So, in some ways I'm very fortunate that way. So, I'm never sorry about that. But at the same time, sometimes it's frustrating because he'll say, well, I made dinner. And so, I have to be mindful of that too, and not to snap back and just be thankful for that. So, because I think a lot of times we take our guys for granted when they are doing a lot of the right things, maybe not all the right things, but most of them. So, and we're not perfect either, but we're always trying.
No.
So,
yeah, that's the main point. Always try.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens with this episode.
I'm really interested to listen to what the boys did.
Yes. I'm looking forward to editing this episode and seeing what all the guys discussed.
Yeah, it'll be a good time. If you liked it, please subscribe, comment, give the boys some love in the comments below. Share with some friends, and come visit us on Patreon, and we will see you around the campfire next week.
Be sure to join this crazy campfire crew at the Learn to RV podcast again next week. Like and subscribe so you never miss an episode.